YouTube, what's up? We are back, and we're going to be hunting some pigs here in Northeast Texas. Right now I'm in Paris. We're getting some food at Whataburger, and we're going to end up going over towards the Clarksville area and try to pound some pigs out there. Had an individual hit me up on Instagram just asking a question about a vortex scope, and then next thing you know, the gates were open to all kinds of property. And he says, man, I got access to over 20,000 acres. I work it, I live out here. And man, whenever you need to kill some pigs, let me know. And pig hunting's been really slow on my end. I hit him up, he says, come on, we're gonna hit him. So he's been sending me footage for 2 weeks straight. Damage all along the side of his house. He's got pigs everywhere. They're going out working equipment and working cattle in the morning, and they're seeing coyotes and pigs everywhere. Estienne does not hunt with thermals. Estienne is from South Africa, and he got hooked up with this landowner, and he's never experienced this type of this type of hunting with this level of equipment. You know, we got the Can-Am here. We got the ROVIR up on top. You can't see it right now, but we got the ROVIR up there. We're going to be running PVS 30 on the bolt gun. We got the Pulsar XP50. We got the XM38. Tyler from Ultimate Night Vision is with me. He's got his Envision Halo, and he's also wanting to kill a pig with the Skeeter. So the Skeeter, you see us use him. We use the Skeeter as a scout to scout pastures. He has it on his helmet, and you can actually use it as a weapon-mounted thermal. So he is going to mount that on his 300 Blackout and try to shoot a pig with it. So we'll see how that works out. Also, I want to chase a pig, or if we get a solo pig out there, I want to use my 300 Blackout with the dbal i2 pointer and just hip it and use the pointer to put down a solo boar if we come across one of those. Hopefully I can get as much as I can on footage, guys. I can't make any promises. Sometimes we get put into a situation where things happen really quick and I can't get cameras or thermals set up to record. So fingers crossed we're going to come across a bunch of pigs and stack them real deep for you guys. From the intel that we're getting, there's a lot of pigs out here. There's a lot of pigs. I was on the phone with Estienne last night, and he says, I gotta call you back. There's pigs next to my house. And he called me back and sent me a video, and there was pigs with the cattle next to his house. He says, I'm not touching them. I'm gonna leave them alone until you guys show up. So we're almost there. We're about 45 minutes away from the property. And man, guys, you have no idea how excited I am. So it's about to get dark. I'm gonna do the best I can to get all this footage together for you guys. So stay tuned. It's about 9:30 in the morning. We took a power nap, and I said, you know what, let me get up and check this pasture that we started out with last night. Amazing property. I really had a good time last night, minus the issues that I had. Being able to hunt new properties and have new hunting friends is really, really cool. But there should have been a lot more pigs dying last night. They call it hunting for a reason. If you're killing every single time you go out, then it's called killing and everything's perfect, right? But when you're hunting, it comes with disappointments and failures, okay? And last night I had a lot of failures and I was disappointed. Estienne and Tyler had a good time. They had no issues, but unfortunately for me, the XP50 was cutting out every single time I pulled the trigger, guys. And this is what I do. I like to give people feedback. Immediately, I started getting DMs last night because whenever I'm hunting, I keep people posted with everything that I do. And a lot of people were shocked. They didn't have issues with their XP50s, but unfortunately I did. And I got to share that with you guys. So every single time I pull the trigger, and I'm actually standing where it first started. I wouldn't be surprised there's brass on the ground. But right here behind me, guys, there's an old oak tree right here. And we were standing right here. There was pigs right here at this gate. There was over a dozen pigs right here, and hopefully I got all that on video. Unfortunately, no audio, but there was pigs right here. And so we got in position here. We could not get any closer because there's a shop light right up here And when we came in here, we didn't even think about this, but as soon as we came in here, this shop light was giving off this silhouette of our body standing right here. And those pigs knew something was up. Some of them were starting to work their way out. But anyways, we still had time to shoot a few more pigs. So we got lined up here. We did a 3, 2, 1 countdown and we started shooting. And guys, my first shot was at a pig here, a boar, and I hit him right in the head. And after that, the THERMION XP50 cut out and it came back on. By the time it came back on, these pigs were already halfway out in the pasture. I took another shot and hit another one out there. And the scope turned off. Every single time I pulled the trigger on this scope, it turned off with the AR-10. So I'm thinking this is just something that's got to work its way out through the night, which was really weird because that morning, yesterday morning, I double checked my zero at the range and it operated just fine with no issues. I've never had this problem with this XP50. So while we're doing all this, there's some more pigs that pop out over there. Guys, that tree line right there, that tree line along the back, that's the Red River. The Red River's just on the other side of that. There's pigs just steady coming out. So right over there in that corner, we spotted another dozen pigs. So we start working our way over there. But by the time we got there, they were already gone. These pigs they come and go. They come and go. We don't know if they heard us or smelled us. I doubt they smelled us because the winds were coming out of the north. But anyways, on our way back, there was a coyote right over here. I did press record on this, and I hope you guys get to see what's going on because every single time I press record and I pulled the trigger, it cut off. I drilled this coyote right over here. I drilled him, and he went down in this little ditch, and I killed him, and the XP50 cut out. So I'm just wanting to share this with you guys. I'm not doing this to bash Pulsar. I just want to share it with you guys. I know the scope can get replaced or fixed. I'm not sure what's causing it. We're all kind of scratching our heads as to why it was doing this because I've never had issues with this scope before. But again, it's hunting, especially at nighttime with electronics, man. Things can happen. But the scope will be going back to get repaired or get looked at and figure out what's going on. So Tyler from Ultimate Night Vision, he's out here with me. And he said, let's put it over on the 300 blackout. And I said, all right. So we went ahead and switched it over to another rig and it ran just fine over there. But unfortunately, I've mentioned this before, battery. The battery on these on these THERMIONs, I'm sorry, are not as good as the trails. And by the time we came up on another group of pigs, no, I take that back. We ended up spotting another group of pigs on the other side of that tree line. And I did a solo stalk on a pig that was roaming by itself. We ended up spotting another group and we lost that group just because of time. Guys, these pastures are massive, a mile long, some of them 2 miles wide. And getting to the pigs without making a lot of ruckus is really, really difficult because it's really quiet down here in these bottoms. They can hear anything rolling up on them. So we couldn't get really close with the Can-Am. But anyways, by the time we got to these pigs, they were already in the trees, but there was one solo pig. I used the ACCOLADE to record my stalk and I ended up killing that pig and the THERMION worked just fine. We went to another pasture that had some soybeans planted and we went over there and the THERMION just completely cut off when I shot at a coyote and it never came back on. And I tried multiple times to get it fired back up. It did for a few seconds and I looked at the battery indicator and it was done. No warning, no nothing, just completely cut off. And I fully charged those batteries before I even came out here. It is what it is. It is what it is. Frustrating, but these things do happen. These things do happen. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. I know this video kind of dragged out. I will do everything I can to try this again. We're going to do a part 2 of this and hopefully everything is working just fine the next time I come back out here. But I can tell you guys right now, I'm going to come back out here and try to redeem myself. If you guys like what you see, please like, get the subscriptions going, get the notifications going, and I'll do everything I can to keep this content rolling. Frustrating times. Guys, I keep forgetting to talk about this thing. The ROVIR thermal up there from Ultimate Night Vision. That is a FLIR 640 core thermal that's mounted on the rooftop. So I can drive around at nighttime with no lights on and I can see with that ROVIR thermal. Also, we got these IR lights. A lot of people think those are floods, but those are IR lights. So like last night, there was no moon till about midnight. I can use my nods and actually use those IR lights as like headlights and then use the thermal to detect. Well, how am I seeing everything? Well, I'll show you. Right here inside on that screen. Got an LED screen here and I can scan 360 degrees up and down. We'll get some footage of that up as well. That is the ROVIR thermal from Ultimate Night Vision. All right, guys. Problem children right here. Problem children. All right, so you know, guys, this is what I do. I like to use night equipment and the rifles and give people feedback and let them know what's going on, right? And I think it's all about being honest. So I'm going to do everything I can to be honest with you guys here. So I've had zero issues with this XP50, okay, the THERMION XP50. I have zero issues. My wife hunted with it, zero issues. We still don't have audio, but I've also hunted with it again after that. And yesterday morning, I double checked my zero. Still no issues with this THERMION XP50 on this rifle. This is a 308 AR-10, all right, guys? So last night I come out here. I've already talked about it numerous times. This went out several times. Every single time I pulled the trigger on this AR-10, that scope cut off. It comes right back on, but it cuts off. Big issue when you got pigs on the run, right? Okay, so we took the scope off and we put it on a 300 blackout and it ran just fine, but it did not like the AR-10. So I'm not saying all these XP50s are like this, but there's obvious something is wrong with that. So that's gonna go in and get repaired. The rifle wasn't 100% reliable either. Guys, you've seen the video. I posted it up with the dead air nomad and it ran just fine. It was a little gassy, maybe under gas, but it ran just fine until I put this Omega on there. Okay, the Omega here. I put the Omega on there and we had all kinds of double feeds. And let me show you. I didn't even clear it. I left it alone. You can still see the other brass wedged in there. You can still see it. I'm not making that up. That's exactly how the night ended right there. So, you know, it's obvious that I did not adjust the gas block properly. So we're gonna have to. It's a sensitive subject, to be honest with you, because I know every suppressor is different, and I'm not sure if the pressure is a little bit different on the Omega compared to the Nomad. Or maybe it was going to happen because it wasn't tuned properly. Who knows? But I will be tuning that gas block a little bit more and try to eliminate this problem here in the future. Frustrating night, but that's why you bring backup rifles. That's why you bring backups. But by the time we put this back on another rig, I had about 2 hours left of battery life and the battery died. So I was out for the night. Shit happens.